Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader training room for Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right, we will set that aside. We do have a crude oil inventory report session at 10:30, so I will shut this one down about 10:15. Crude is in a short, first trade of the morning. This get in sync long was close, but it pulled down. That was 5 seconds into our start time. I was looking at that one and didn't get the order in time to get into it. Treat it as a get in sync that canceled out when it hit the stop. So it is short now. YM has gone too far in its short, so we'll look for a new trade there. Micro Russell hit both the entry and the target, or entry and stop on the first bar. Going way too far, even if it were valid. Pound Aussie into a small long trade. Money management is way up here above target 2. So target 3 is our first actionable objective. Personally, when I get trades of this size, I'll go 2 of my normal positions to 3, 2 to 4, and 1 on the trail, rather than stacking three positions at target 3. Unleaded is in the short as its first trade of the morning, but has a stop and reverse potential here. $7.011. Four tick adjustment, stop and reverse adjustment, 1 tick key level because it comes up at 7.010. So still in the short at this point, and soybeans has a potential effect. That was interesting. Big spike on soybeans, short, and it just hit target, so that's off the table. Looking for a new trade there. YM stopped out, filtered trade. No changes anywhere else. Soybeans looking for a new setup. YM with another filtered trade. Those are both squeeze zone trades. 50 coming between the entry and target 1. And we get an add-on short on crude, but we stay in the original short. And unleaded is also still in its original short. Both calculators are tracking the short still. YM with a short setup that has canceled, and a long setup that was too fast to execute. Definitely too fast to execute on that long. Micro Russell pushing higher. YM pushing significantly higher. Getting a fair amount of volatility this morning, both setting new session highs. All right, pound Aussie dipping below the entry. Crude and unleaded both still kind of going a little bit sideways. At or just below the, right at the entries. That would have been a nice trade on the YM, but too fast to get into. Stop and reverse on unleaded still in play. We've got a set of exhaustion dots on crudes. Two more. This bar and another up bar could give us a possible long trade there. YM stops out. So look for a new setup there, and it's short. It's too quick to do anything with. That hits money management already, and so that's off the table. No trade. Crude coming back up to its entry. Unleaded coming close, getting close to the unadjusted entry at 06. Stop and reverse entry is at 11. Pound Aussie testing the 20 SMA and bouncing up. And another short on the YM. This time we've got time to get in it. That one we should be in. Definitely should be in that short. And there's money management and target. Target was 22, so it was big enough. This will be a one and done session. Stop will come down. In fact, we may have just hit it. Yep, stopped out. One tick break even. YM is done. Long trade on the micro Russell. I saw that one. It went up and hit. So that one we're in. This is a bigger than normal trade. Let's see where we. Yep, target 2 is big enough. Target 1 will certainly be our break-even point. I'm going to put unleaded up here over top of the YM. Pound Aussie back above its entry. Wow, and now could we have gotten in this short trade on the micro NQ? Yeah, that's in time. 17 seconds. So yeah, we should be in this trade. if you're trading the micro NQ and your chart looks like mine, that's all three targets, 2, 3, and 4. And stopping out for win number 1. Looks like we stopped out and we may have transitioned into a short. Oh my goodness, we touched the entry and the stop. I think we actually hit the entry and then the stop, so that's an avoidable trade, looks like. And we take the full loss. And now we have a long trade. It's a full loss on the micro NQ. Looks like we're getting some noise this morning now. Crude and unleaded, both still short. Trade number 1 was a full loss on the micro Russell. Winner on trade number 1 for the micro NQ with a loss on trade number 2. And here comes trade number 3. That one's avoidable. It just touched and went back all the way to the stop. So that's a no trade. That is on Catapult. Soybeans hasn't done anything new. Just below the entry on pound Aussie. Crude and unleaded, both in their original shorts. The unleaded stop and reverse is still valid. We have one close below the balance line. Another close below the balance line will cancel that trade. Ooh. Good move. Yeah, that was too fast to catch on the micro NQ. That's a no trade. Those bars were like 2 seconds apart, a second each. So it was back up above the entry before we could have gotten in. And then went up and hit the stops off the table. Pound Aussie at the entry, poking above again. It's going to have to get up through the 200 EMA. Unleaded closes down. That does cancel the stop and reverse. I would probably push the stop up a bit, get a couple of ticks above the 50 if you're going to leave it, because the 50 is right at 11 right now. That does bring us back to the original trade. If you hold the stop after stop and reverse that cancels, push it up to 13. Give it a couple of ticks above the 50. This trade on the micro NQ, I believe, and I didn't even see the long trade. I didn't see that come back up to the entry, so that one is going to be too fast. Micro Russell with a short trade. That one's not too fast, giving us several chances to get in. I may have missed some trades here too. Fast moving markets this morning. Yeah, we're just like we're 8 seconds on that third bar. Bouncing off the 50, I would not get in on the way down and wait for it to come back up, so that's a no trade. And I said the short was still too fast. Now the Micro Russell with a good short trade. I'll have to look at those longs. Getting target 3. We would have gone down 1 tick for our money management level beyond target 1. Crude hitting target 1. Over to the wrong place there. Stock comes down to 91. Crude looks like it might stop out. Unleaded. Back to the entry again. I'll get back to the charts in a second. I got to take care of my trade here. All right, we got targets there. Micro Russell went back to a long. Quick bounce up. I would there again, and I would wait until it comes back up. With the wick on that last bar, though, it probably did. So there's no getting away from that. That was definitely a loss. And now we have a short trade. Nice short on the micro NQ. We need another tick on to get to And that's a full, no, that hasn't hit the entry yet. So that's going to be 46.9. So this trade is still valid. It looks like it's going to set up a long instead. Micro NQ with a positive trade. Pound Aussie testing the 200 EMA. Another stop and reverse possibility. 87.91 for this one. Stop on crude is still at 91. Oh, wait a minute. The entry was at 91, so it's 96. So there is our stop and reverse. Long trade on the micro NQ and on the micro Russell. Micro Russell trade still valid. Has not hit the entry, even though it has hit the stop. And that's a full stop out on the micro NQ. Yeah, 20 seconds to get in, so we're definitely in that trade. Wouldn't be getting away from that one. Micro Russell with a short. Same short we had before, this time we get a full loss on it. So 2 losses. Now we get a long. That's going to go money management. And we do stop and reverse. We stop out on crude. That did touch target 1, so that is 1 and done for the 9 a.m. session. We will not have a 10 a.m. session since we have a crude oil inventory report today. All right, break-even trade there. That, I think, is going to be all that we can trade on micro Russell. Micro NQ is going to be something similar. That got target on the long. Touched an entry to short. That would have kept it in the long trade. And then we stop and reverse to short here. But I think we're about at our limit there as well. Too many trades going on. Keep good track. In the long trade on unleaded, crude is done. Soybeans is nothing. Pound Aussie Rejected at the 200, now coming back down and testing the 20 SMA. Okay, soybeans, unleaded. It should be through on micro Russell and micro NQ. So we're going to let it back down here. YM and the micro Russell, both micro Russell's right up at session highs. YM's just below session highs. Unleaded with the money management. So stop will come to 997. Plotted stop is 992, but stop and reverse push is going to push it up. Target one traders pick up the target. 34 ticks. Let's see what our original loss was. 79 to 96. 34 ticks, not too bad. So we are even, so we're going to be positive with the trailer wherever we end up on unleaded for target one. Target two traders need the target here, or at least 17, 18 ticks on the trailer, 18 ticks on the trailer to get positive. Okay, unleaded stops out. Stop would have been at 7008. 12 ticks. We did touch target two, so yes, that's POQ for both target one and target two traders. Target two is complete. Crude and unleaded successful this morning. YM successful. Soybeans has had no trades. Micro Russell and Micro NQ were very active. Hard to say whether they're positive or even without going through each trade at this point. Pound Aussie still trying to work through. It's gotten through, punched through the 20, but didn't get beyond the 50. And the micro Russell pushing upward again. So we have soybeans and unleaded soybeans and pound Aussie. Questions or comments? Anybody want to stick around for another 15 minutes? Watching those two, or any questions? Questions or comments? See you then, Richard. That'll be in about, I should start that up in a little over 25 minutes. YM and Micro Russell both just set new session highs. All right, 10 o'clock. Pound Aussie in a short. It's kind of going sideways. Soybeans system is in a short, but that went way too rapidly to get involved with right at market open. That big V was all in just seconds the market opened. Going up, setting a new session high at 1071 flat, and right back down to where the short entry was. Actually setting up a new trade that went through the entry and right to target one without even having a chance to get in. I don't see either one of those going anywhere any very fast where they're go, where they are. So I will go ahead and close this session out. Oh, we didn't. Yeah, we have got some folks back in. All that's left this morning is the pound Aussie and soybeans. Soybeans looking for it's a new trade setup. The short trade that it's in went way too far out of the box, so it was a no trade. Too far, too fast. Pound Aussie right back at the entry. It's a small trade. First actionable target. It's above the 12 pip money management level is target 3. Oh yeah, this was our trade right here. 23 ticks to target. 97 to 91, 6 ticks on the trailer. 29 ticks. Pound Aussie pulling back again to test the 50. Soybeans got close to the session low. Bounced off of that. Fair amount of movement in crude this morning, up and down. We'll have to see what happens with the inventory report. Crude testing its 200 EMA. Pound Aussie, looking like it was going to reject 50, but coming back down to test it again. It's looking like it could break through and go lower. And now we get the rejection off at 50 and coming back up toward the entry on the Pound Aussie. On all of these charts except soybeans, green indicates a system in a long trade, red system in a short trade, and gray indicates flat. The bright gray is a down bar, dark gray is an up bar. Red and green, bright is the primary direction, dark is the secondary. So bright green are up, dark green are down, bright red are down, dark red are up. It's a good visual to know when the system was in long or short trades. And Pound Aussie going through the entry again. Let's see if it goes up to test the 200 again. Once it was rejected 50, moving up fairly smartly. Two solidly up bars there. See what happens. And pushing up very close. Nice push through the 200. Getting very close to the money management level. See exactly where that is. It's been a while since we've been looking at that trade. 183. We've gotten as high as, looks like 180, 182.3, 182.5, half a pip. And then pulling back to the 200. All right, 2 more minutes to watch it. And it got as high as 82.6. Now back down at the 200 EMA. I hate it, but I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. I'd love to see it go ahead and at least get it to break even. Push back up. See if it gives me a Now I am going to have to call it a morning right now. I got to shut this stream down. That's so close to the money management level. Still full risk on the trade. The trade plan. Just because it got close, not time to move the stop. There it is. 83.5. That is money management. Stock comes up to 172. And that will go from there. First actionable target. Target 3, 188 for 17 pips. And I'm going to have to shut this one down, and I'll be back in right around 10 minutes with the crude oil inventory report. New stream. So we will see you back then. Almost a target. There's that stop coming up to 72 flat. Looks like it's not quite ready to trail, but almost. See you shortly.